Welcome to Bill's Bridge class, Friday, August 30th, 2013, class 147, Roman discards. By popular demand, I'm covering Roman discards, but in order to cover Roman discards, I really have to cover the subject of discards. This is a repeat of a previous class with a couple of changes focused more toward the Roman discards. Here we go.
Let's begin by covering just exactly what is a discard. When you are unable to follow suit, you make a discard. The card you discard tells partner and declarer, if he's watching, different things. Typically, a discard is a suit preference signal. There are three basic conventions you might use when discarding: the so-called standard system, Leventhal or odd-even, also called Roman discards, and lastly, there is also a method not recognized in the U.S. called Finch. We'll cover all of them briefly. Whatever you do, be sure that you put it on your convention card. Start with some definitions. We're talking about discards strictly at this point. There are standard discards. Play a relatively high spot card indicates interest in the suit you are discarding, and discarding a low spot card is a discouraging of the leading of the suit discarded. In no trump, and often in trump as well, you would prefer a negative discard because you want to save your high card, your spot cards. They might actually win tricks. First, let's cover Leventhal discards. I like Leventhal discards against no trump, not necessarily against trump suit. Playing Leventhal, the first and only discard that you make, works as follows. First of all, the discard of the suit you don't like says you don't want the suit you're discarding. What it does say is a low spot card says you want the lower ranking of the remaining non-trump suits, while a high or relatively high spot card says you like the higher ranking one. Let's look at an example. Let's say diamonds are lead. You have no diamonds. A high heart is discarded, would say you want the high ranking suit, not hearts, so it must be spades. A low heart pitch would say you don't want hearts, you don't want diamonds, so it would be clubs. I'd also like to note that further discards after the first one, you use the so-called standard signals. Another approach is the Finch discard. I'm not sure it's even legal in the United States, but if you can play it, here it is. It's a first cousin to Leventhal. Playing Finch, your first discard, only your first discard, works as follows. You discard a suit you don't like or don't want to have returned. And an odd pip says you don't like that suit that you pitched, but you like the lower ranking of the remaining non-trump suits. While an even discard or pip says you like the higher ranking one. For example, diamonds are lead, you have no diamonds. So an even heart discard says you don't like hearts, but you like the higher ranking suit, spades. An odd heart discard says that you like clubs. Further discards after the first one use so-called standard signals. Then there's the odd-even, sometimes called Roman discards. How do they work? Playing odd-even, your first discard and only the first discard works as follows. If you throw an odd spot card, 3, 5, 7, or 9, it says you like the suit you discarded from, continue it. If you play an even discard, 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10, it says you do not like the suit you discarded from, and if it's a 2 or a 4, a low even card, you prefer the lower ranking suit, not the suit discarded, while the 8 or the 10 indicates the higher ranking suit. A 6 is indifferent. It says you don't care, you can't tell the difference, or maybe you didn't have the right spot card anyway. That's one of the problems. And of course, after the first discard, further discards use standard signals. On the subject of signals, there are other signals for both count and attitude signals. In particular, there's the upside down signals. They're exactly the same as we said, except they're upside down. For example, To apply the attitude or count signal for an attitude signal, a low pip card is encouraging, while a high pip card is discouraging. The concept is it saves a high spot card, so you're not throwing away a potential loser. And that actually makes a lot of sense, but you need to think a little more for it. So that's certainly an alternative approach. For count signals, you can do the same thing. High-low used to mean even versus odd. Now a low is for even and a high is for an odd. Up to you. Two different chickens. A real live example of defensive discards. This is your hand as east, dealer is south, neither side is vulnerable, and here's what happens. The bidding goes 1 spade by south, your partner bids 2 hearts, 4 spades by north, and I'll pass. Opening lead is the ace of hearts. Partner cashes 3 rounds of hearts. You give count playing high-low, and at trick 3 you have an opportunity for a discard. What is your discard? Well, you would like a diamond returned. You wouldn't like a heart returned. Partner should have 5 hearts, and the 6 of spades isn't going to uppercut anybody. It's not worthwhile to lead hearts. So you really want a diamond led. What's your discard? Depends on the system you use. Playing standard, you would play either the 10 of diamonds, a high spot card says, I want this suit diamonds, or the 2 of clubs, I don't want clubs. Partner will have to figure out it's not hearts and lead diamonds, but that's what happens. If you play Laventhal, your best pitch is the 2 of clubs. You don't want clubs, but you want the lower ranking of the 2 remaining suits. You want diamonds. If you play odd-even, you play the 3 of diamonds, saying, I do want it's odd, so I want diamonds, or you pitch the 2 of clubs, I want the lower ranking of the other 2 suits, which must be diamonds. And here's the entire hand. If West doesn't switch to a diamond, South makes the hand, so you need to switch to a diamond. As to advice regarding discards, let me say the following. First, make the most descriptive discard available. Don't be half-hearted in your signals. If a high card needs to be played, play the highest card. But, as a corollary, don't discard winning tricks in so doing. If the card you discard is the setting trick, you can't afford to discard it. You do the best you can and hope for the best. Now, some advocates of Roman or Finch discards extend the concept of even-odd to the follow-up leads of the suit. For example, an odd card led might be a suit preference to the lower ranking suit, or an even card led a suit preference to the higher ranking suit. I wouldn't recommend it, but some of them do that. For more information on to discards, review my classes 69 and 70 of June 13th and 14th, 2013 for more details on discarding. The ultimate question I'll leave you with is, which approach is better for discards and why is it better? You be the judge. Let me give my 2 cents worth. First of all, most of the experts I have asked stick pretty much to the standard discards. That doesn't mean that other approaches aren't good and well, or that I've asked the right experts, but judge for yourself. My own preference is to use Laventhal, but only against no trump, as I indicated on my sample card on page 2 of this presentation. For those who like even-odd structure, be it odd-even Roman structure or Finch structure, I'd like to forewarn you that you may end up in an impossible signal situation in which no discard you make makes any sense. I'll give you an example. Let's say this is your hand and a club is led. Good luck on your discard. You want a spade led. What's the right discard? The answer is there isn't one. Good luck. On the other hand, for those who like Laventhal, I'd like to point out to you that there's no way to encourage partner to lead a suit of which you discard. He may be able to read your mind, but there is no signal available using Laventhal to do that. That's why, particularly in a suit contract, I don't like Leventhal. But you be the judge again. That's my 10 cents worth.
There you have Roman discards. Tomorrow I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to post a 10-question questionnaire. It's up to you to tell me what you play and what you want to see in the future. So be sure and come back and fill out the questionnaire. I appreciate anything you give me. Thank you.